The House Judiciary Committee will hold a field hearing on Monday, April 17th, 2023 at 9 a.m. Eastern in New York City, New York. The hearing, Victims of Violent Crime in Manhattan, will examine how Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg's pro-crime, anti-victim policies have led to an increase in violent crime in a dangerous community for New York City residents. And there are people who cheer for this man.
House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan. First of all, Jim, let me.
As was shown at the top of this video, Representative Jim Jordan, out of Ohio, is making it a point to, I guess, prove that Bragg going after former President Donald Trump when there are violent crimes happening in his district is wrong, I think. As if this means that Bragg's record on violent crime needs to be spotless before going after a presidential candidate. Or maybe Bragg should let 45 get away with his crimes. I don't know. Whatever the case, Jordan doesn't actually believe this. More on this in a minute. Now, after listing the crime categories that are now lower in Manhattan, a spokesperson from the Manhattan DA's office responded this way to the GOP House Judiciary Committee's tweet. Quote, in DA Bragg's first year in office, New York City had one of the lowest murder rates of major cities in the United States, nearly 3 times lower than, Columbus, Ohio. If Chairman Jordan truly cared about public safety, he could take a short drive to, and as much as it pains me to say this, it's true, Columbus, Dayton, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Akron, or Toledo in his home state, instead of using taxpayer dollars to travel hundreds of miles out of his way. So before I continue, not only is it true that the crime rate in New York City is lower than that of my hometown and the city that I love, Columbus, but the state of New York's gun death rate is lower than Ohio's too. That's for anyone who is under the impression that crime issues are due to large cities being blue. Ohio is very much a red state. And instead of acknowledging their role in the stats I just laid out, Ohio Republicans claim that, quote, Democrats have consistently supported soft on crime policies that contribute to rampant crime in Columbus, while adding, out-of-state liberals attacking their Democrat colleagues is only highlighting their stupidity, instead of, using that time to pass laws to make the lives of Ohioans and Americans better. At Judiciary GOP also tweeted out this article with the headline saying, suspects sought after 17-year-old shot and injured in Manhattan, like one crime supersedes statewide and countrywide data. With that said, Jim Jordan is doing the very thing that he is accusing DA Alvin Bragg of. Shouldn't Jim Jordan focus on what's going on in his own state instead of interfering with a DA's criminal investigation? That's what he's being sued for, by the way.
They're obstructing our investigation, Brett. We have a constitutional duty to get to the facts, particularly when you have a district attorney interfering with the most important election we have, which is the election of the commander-in-chief, the president of the United States. And understand what happened here. Alvin Bragg used federal funds to indict a former president for no crime, and then when we ask questions about it, when we want to investigate, he takes us to court. And he takes us to court because we want to talk to someone who left the DA's office a year ago, who went out and wrote a book on this very subject, did all kinds of interviews, was pushing to go after President Trump before he got there, while he got there, when he left, he wrote a book about it, and we're not allowed to talk to him to do our duty. They're obstructing our constitutional duty to do oversight.
This man just said, I know you are, but what am I? And people take him absolutely serious. You should know that Jim Jordan may literally be the most ineffective congressperson serving right now, according to a study. And to be clear, Jordan doesn't represent Columbus or any of our big cities in Ohio. He avoids those places like there's a bunch of black and brown people here who he knows won't vote for him. We won't, which is why his district looks like this. Plus, Columbus is the home of my alma mater, The Ohio State University, and he doesn't want to come here for obvious reasons. With all of that said, the people who cheer for Jim Jordan don't actually want him to do his actual job. Meet Xavier DeRusso. According to him, he used to be a BLM activist, and he'll have you believe that he earned his job as a PragerU personality. You can find the link to a video about him in the description. For more of my content, click on the Jeff Wiggins hashtag, and look for me on my YouTube channel called We Gonna Be Alright. Thanks for watching, and as always, my architect knows Japanese.